Hey guys, how's it going? My name's always and welcome back to Age of Engineering. In the last episode, we finished up our nuclear reactor and we made the Mass Fabricator plus the recycler, which helps it, but mostly the Mass Fabricator. And this guy is making us UU matter, which we can use relatively soon to essentially duplicate a lot of different items. And it is a very good way to get some of the more complicated items in this mod pack and all that kind of fun stuff and all that. So we are going to be working on getting machines needed to actually use this UU matter, and that is actually going to put us into the next age. So we are currently in age 6, I think. Yes. We are in age 6, and we are going to be going into age 7. Now we're skipping a lot of things at this point, but for the most part, what we need to do is we need to let this reactor run until all of these uranium fuel rods run out, and then we need to, well, make some new stuff. So using all those guys is going to be kind of key for something later. We'll get to that. Secret, it's advanced generators, which is going to be how we power a lot of things with EU, because EU production is kind of terrible, but RF production is actually going pretty well. I had to make a bunch of stuff, which is all right here. This is pretty much everything we need for the 3 machines that we are going to need. I went ahead and got rid of all that reinforced stone. We have 27 of that. I also want to show off that I've been using scrap, and instead of just putting scrap straight into the Mass Fabricator, we're actually going to make scrap boxes. Now these last 9 times as long, obviously. There is no like loss or gain from using them, but all in all it's a little bit better. So eventually we're going to have a whole bunch of recyclers feeding off of cobblestone generators. For now I'm using all the stone that I'm getting from mining, and then pumping those into some sort of crafter to then be put into the Mass Fabricator as scrap boxes. And we'll only ever need 1 Mass Fabricator. This machine's actually kind of interesting. If you give it more power, it will work faster. That's the only thing that it needs. So there's not really going to be any reason to not use just 1. But anyway, so we don't have much UU matter at this time, but we'll get more eventually. For now, let's go ahead and start crafting. So one of the worst things that I had to craft was these 17 advanced circuits. Now, these required a bunch of Pallas and Redstonia crystals that are empowered. It was terrible. I also have some more rubber trees up and around just because I needed more. So let's go ahead and grab all this stuff. So most of the stuff you guys have seen me make before. In fact, all of it should have been previously crafted, because that's why I did it off camera. So we have like machine casings and advanced machine casings. We have the reinforced stone, our machine frame that we got from a couple episodes ago to get to age 6. See, electric motors are pretty easy. The RE batteries, I will show off this recipe. It's just bronze, sulfur, and lead, plus some insulated copper cables. I made one of those a long time ago, hadn't really used it, so I just want to show that off. Now there are still a couple of things we're going to need to make. So let's start with the replicator. The replicator does require reinforced glass, so we are going to need that. Not too big of a deal, we just need some glass, which I have plenty of. So that is something, let's just do this stuff over here. So the replicator, we need this reinforced glass. We only need 1 recipe of it, which is kind of nice. So there's that. We're going to need 3 teleporters. So we need 3 frequency transmitters, which are just electronic circuits and insulated copper cables. So 1, 2, and 3. And then we should be able to make the 3 teleporters. And that should get rid of a lot of these things like the diamonds and a good bit of the advanced circuits. These are some of the hardest things to make. So there's 1 teleporter, 2 teleporters, and 3 teleporters. We also need 2 HV transformers, which requires an MV transformer, which is pretty easy. So we're going to need 2 of these. Then we need that. I think it's like this. No. What's the other part to this? Normal circuit. So there's 1 HV and 2 HVs. So most of the stuff is not too bad. And then an MFE, which requires some of the energy crystals. So there we go. So this should be everything we need. So the teleporters and reinforced stone. And that is the replicator. So this machine is what actually makes the stuff. That is a really important machine. So the next one we're going to need is pattern storage. We'll get back to this one in a second. We are going to need 2 mining lasers, so let's go ahead and make that. So 1 and 2 mining lasers. We'll need those soon enough. We're going to need some crystal memories, and these guys require silicon dioxide and obsidian powder. So silicon dioxide, we know how to get that. That is from clay. And I think we need blocks, don't we? I don't recall off the top of my head. Clay dust comes from... not that kind of clay dust. Yes, grinding clay. Let's get like a half a stack, because having a little bit extra that would not be a problem. So this is some of the stuff that we still need to craft. The teleporters were one that was mostly done, but we do still need to make a couple things that I haven't really messed with. We're also going to need some obsidian dust. That should not be a problem so long as we have some obsidian. I think we have a little bit. How much do we need? We need 2 of these. And I think that's enough. Alright, cool. So we'll sag mill this. And there is 12 obsidian powder. I think that's more than enough. So... clay dust in the thermal centrifuge will get us the silicon dioxide, I do believe, and it's 1 per. I forgot how painful that is. So we're gonna need more clay. Do we have any? So clay is kind of a pain to collect. So every 4 pieces we get a single bit of silicon dioxide, and it's pretty terrible just to collect the clay because there's not many ways to get clay. We can use dirt relatively soon, so if we want clay, only way we can really do it is void resource miner. We can inject water vapor into either dirt or hardened clay, or molecular transform dirt. All of those ways are pretty painful. The molecular transformer is not bad, but it requires a lot of power, and that's not fun. So we're going to need more clay, so we're going to have to go get that. Let's go ahead and set everything else up. So that's there. 2 lasers. And everything else we still need to make. Now this modular storage is actually really easy, so let's go ahead and make that. It just requires a chest, 4 redstone, and a couple of quartz. So there's a chest. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. And this is, like I said, pretty straightforward. And there's the modular storage. And I believe that is what we need. Yep, just modular storage. Alright, so that is our first machine frame from, what mod is that? RF Tools. And we're going to use it just to progress. And then the last thing we're going to need, so the pattern storage is what triggers the next stage, and the thing that actually holds the information of what the replicator can do. And the last thing we're going to be making is the scanner, which is the actual thing that scans the item to see what it is we're actually getting. So, and what it requires and all that kind of stuff. So these go there, that goes there. These goes here. And we just need to make an illuminator, which requires insulated copper, tin, 2 iron, and some glass. Okay. We should be able to do that. Like, no problem. So we'll just get this. We will roll out another piece of that. And pretty much the only thing left to do is deal with the clay. So there's illuminators, and there is the scanner. So the scanner, like I said, is the block that, like, it will scan an item, it will destroy said item, but it will scan it and give you information on what it what all it requires. These are the only 2 machines that actually require power. Just FYI. The pattern storage does not require any power whatsoever. So, just kind of nice. Let's go ahead and honestly, I think it's going to be easiest just to head back to the overworld and we'll look into getting some more clay after sleeping. So our house is still here. It's night, all that fun stuff. No big deal. We'll sleep and we'll get rid of it, and then we will fly off somewhere. If we look at, is it J or is it M? Okay, it's J. I can never remember. There is this area over here that is plenty of swampiness. So that is to the south west. Otherwise, I mean, oceans will have a little bit. There's another swamp down here. Let's just go southwest. And I think the best way is to get up on this hill and fly as far as we can. So, yeah, we're going to go get some clay. We will hopefully not need to do too much more, but we'll get the pattern storage. And then, honestly, I don't know what all we're going to be able to do for the rest of the episode. So, a large portion of what we're going to need to do at this point is just kind of look at what's next. Both with what we can do and what we need to do next. So, for example, one of the big things is we don't really have that much automation. Automation's kind of hard without having, you know, the resources to do things. And the main resource that we're kind of missing at this point is the clay. Clay is what's causing us a lot of issues. So maybe, so this is where it gets tricky. On one hand, we need clay in order to make electrical steel. To get the silicon for electrical steel so that we can actually and actively make the machine bases or whatever it is that is required for our void resource miner. That is the issue. So we need clay in order to get a better supply of clay. So I think what I'm going to have to do is just kind of bite the bullet and come out here and harvest as much clay as I possibly can. There should be, yeah, quite a bit. And it should not take too much time. Let me grab out of my bag my magnet. I have to keep this hidden because of the, oh, it's the the Certus quartz seeds that are currently actually pretty close to being done. So this is a nice pocket. And obviously I'm going to have some extras, but like I'm going to have some extra stuff that I'm going to be picking up, but for the most part it's clay, and that's nice. There is a lot of clay here, so maybe I will just go ahead and start working towards all of the stuff we need for the oh, what is it called? The resource miner. I am a little bit tired. Sorry about that. So I am losing my words a little bit more than usual, but that's not saying much. So yeah, I think coming to the swamp and just kind of mining around is gonna be my best bet. And then once I deal with getting as much clay as possible, I can get as much silicon and kind of go from there. So how much do we have? We have over a stack of blocks. So yeah, this is doable, I think. Because that was the biggest concern with me. Is it worth my time to come out to the swamp or anywhere, honestly, and harvest clay, or would it be better just to figure out something else to do? I think this makes it pretty clear. Just with how fast we are harvesting the clay with this drill that I love. I haven't really talked about that, but all the upgrades, by far worth it. This drill is probably one of the best investments I've made in this mod pack. And it was a little bit of a pain to get just because of all the stuff we needed. Alright, that's enough clay for now. How much do we have? Almost 3 stacks. So let's go back home. We'll process a bunch of this clay. Actually, I'm just going to process an entire stack of it. Because why not? And yeah, I can always come back here and harvest more clay pretty easily. So once we have the replicator and powered and storage and all this kind of stuff set up, what are we going to want to duplicate? Well, this mod pack actually adds a bunch of different recipes for things to duplicate. That is not found in your normal IC2 recipe book type thing. So basically, the mod maker, the person that, I guess, mod pack maker, they put in a bunch of recipes for stuff like machine frames and machine casings. And so the Ender IO machine casings that are terrible, you can make with a little bit of UU matter. Capacitors, the basic capacitors have a UU matter recipe. The bronze casings, from forestry, I believe, have one. A lot of different items have one. So it's a little bit more desirable, because typically you would use UU matter for Iridium. That is still the case for this pack. It is one of the more more productive ways to get Iridium. However, it is not the only way, and you're not limited to that, but it is still one of the better ways. If we take a real quick look at Iridium, we are going to need a lot of Iridium later. There is drones which give you Iridium dust, not the same thing. But this stuff, Iridium ore, you can make it with a lot of EU from iron, or you can use UU matter. That's the main two ways to do this. So it's one of those things where UU matter is still by far the best, but there is another option for eventually when you have just a bunch of stuff going for you. So it's the other way around, isn't it? So yeah, this is kind of just kind of where we're at. This is what we're gonna want to start working towards, is lots of iridium, because that is used for iridium reinforced plates, atomic binder, which is what we actually need for the next no, it's the iridium reinforced plates, which is what we need for the next age, I do believe. Yeah, because we need the atomic modules, and that allows us to get inscribers for one, but is it the atomic assembly? Yeah, the atomic calculator. We need one of those. So a bunch of atomic modules, and that's going to require quite a bit of iridium reinforced plates. So it's one of those things that we're going to need a lot of iridium. And let's see, what else are these things used for? Cloaking device, energy flow circuits, superconductors. A lot of that stuff is pretty useful. The empty core, which we're going to need for the advanced solar panels. The hybrid solar panels require 2. I feel like there's other things that this stuff is used for, but off the top of my head, I can't think of anything major. So it's just one of those things that we're going to need a lot of this stuff, but it's kind of hit or miss when we're going to need it. So that's the idea. Let's see, what does the book say? So nuclear age, so deep dark for more mining. That is something we could do. I don't know if we're going to do that. But then to get into the atomic age, we need to unlock the rest of calculator. And then once we have all of calculator taken care of, we can start moving on towards neotech, which requires N diamonds. So if we look at neotech, I believe it's the thermal binder is... Actually, what is... No, it's the electric crucible. So age 9. Electric crucible. This guy requires mica, machine frame from age 6, which we've already made, silver, and the stabilized ender pearls, which require N diamonds, which require electric diamonds, which requires this conductor mass, and fire diamonds, which requires the atomic calculator. So a lot of stuff that we're gonna get to eventually. But to make all that stuff, we need to get into calculator again, and for the most part, it's just a matter of once we get the iridium we need, we set up a machine. We're going to set up some systems over here for the IC2 stuff, and just kind of hopefully never have to think about this stuff again. That's my plan, just because I'll be honest, I kind of despise working with IC2. I always have issues with power, and that not just like power generation, but just in general. I don't know. It just feels like the machines use more power than any good system in the mod makes. So it's weird. You kind of have to use nuclear, and getting to that point is really slow and tedious. But let's go ahead and make the 2 crystal memories. And since we're over here, let's just go ahead and use the electric furnace. We'll cook them up. And I don't believe we'll ever need these. I believe you can use these to store recipes in case you need to move systems or something. I'm going to make sure that we don't move systems before we place this down, but here is the pattern storage, and there is age 7. So we are officially to the nuclear age, and that means, well, more grinding. This is a very grindy mod pack, not gonna lie. So what does that actually mean? Well, we need to place down the scanner and all of these machines, and honestly, if we put UU matter back here, I kind of want to just, I don't know. I don't know yet. I'll have to think about that, and I think that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to think about where I'm going to place stuff. I like the nuclear reactor in here, and I think we're going to have UU matter and... Ooh, maybe we could have all of the recyclers over here being... So we'll have like 5 or 6 recyclers, and then we'll pump the scrap over here, get the UU matter, and then we could pipe that wherever we need. So like over here. And we'll have... this will still be the power line, because even if we have a generator right here, we could just hook in the power line right here and have this be tier 4, tier 3. But I think tier 4 is actually going to go here, because I don't believe... power tier 4. Let's see if there's anything else that is a power tier 4. So, power tier 4, we have replicator, scanner, electric heater, don't care, electric motor, don't care, fluid regulator, don't care, terraformer, replicator again, scanner again, and that's it. So, the terraformer I don't plan on using. Fluid regulator, I will be honest, I don't even know what that does. Electric motor is for kinetic stuff, and electric heater is for heat. We have an electric heater, we've used an electric heater. We don't need to have it set up to tier 4 power. It's sitting right here. So, I think just this little area would be fine. And then we can honestly just have a generator or two here with power storage like over here. That might be what we do. So eventually this guy will get moved, but this is tier 3. This is going to be tier 2. I don't know how many more machines we're going to have tier 2. I kind of want to pick this guy up and upgrade him. We'll move him. I don't know. There's just a lot of things to kind of consider and do. More metal formers might not be a bad idea, but we'll kind of play it by ear. So I've got some decisions to make on how this is all going to be set up. I do think there's what 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks here. If we put the tier 4 transformer just to guarantee, or we put a tier 4 output. The MFSU is a tier 4. So we put an MFSU right here, and we would be fine. We could put a generator here and give it power. And then I think we'd have plenty of room for the 3 machines we need. So I think that's what we'll do. That being said, we're going to turn this guy on, and we're just going to turn this guy on. Wait, no, he was already on. So we're just going to keep those guys on, and once that runs out of power, we will get our first little bit of plutonium, and we'll be able to make the advanced generators. Now, I believe we just need... let's see, advanced generators, I believe... let's look at plutonium. So plutonium is used to make pellets of RTG fuel, and that is used to make the turbines. We're going to go either manual, or we're probably going to go manual because I think that's the best. 500 RF per tick on either one, and it's one of those might as well. Advanced alloy or vibrant also does, but I think manual is going to be the easiest one to make. And then we just need 1 pellet of that, so we just need 3 plutonium, which is 27 of this stuff. We'll get 28, so we're gonna barely have enough, but we should be able to make immediately make the advanced generator, and then never have to use this guy for overall power ever again, and just have him hook up to the Mass Fabricator and the in fact, we might actually move it to this side and just have the Mass Fabricator over here, and then have all the recyclers over here connected to something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I think that'll be the plan. So next episode we are going to be working on. I'm going to do a bunch of prep work, getting a bunch of silicon so that I can get plenty of electrical steel. And next episode we're going to be working towards getting the void resource and void ore miners. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!